Good. How are you doing today, Tommy Fury?
Yep, I'm good. I'm fueled. I'm relaxed. I am fit, healthy. The abs poking through, so how can I not be happy?
You're getting all ready for February 26th on ESPN pay-per-view here in the States against Jake Paul. I mean, finally getting to this fight, Tommy. I know there's been so much adversity. How excited are you for this challenge?
I'm absolutely ecstatic. I'm sitting here talking to you. We're 2 weeks out from this fight, and we're 2 weeks out from shutting this man up. And that is what a lot of people want, and that's what a lot of people are going to get. I could fight this weekend. I'm ready. I'm zoned in. I know exactly what I've got to do. The job at hand. It's not particularly a hard job at hand, but at the end of the day, we've got to treat every single fight like it's world title fight, and that's what I do.
A lot has been made about basically every step of this fight, and when you didn't show up for the news conference, a lot of angst was in the air about, oh no, what's happening here? Can you clarify what happened?
Oh yeah, I can clarify. So basically, Jake Paul signed up to professional boxing, and in the sport of professional boxing, we don't break camp mid to end of the camp. So why would I fly out and break my training camp to fly all the way to Saudi Arabia for a 10-minute press conference, fly all the way back to Manchester, finish my camp, and then the following week, then fly back out to Saudi Arabia? I don't know what games he's trying to play, but he's fighting a professionally. I'm interested in caving his face in and knocking him cold out. He's interested in flying here, there, and everywhere for a silly press conference. So at the end of the day, I think we can all see who's professional, who's about the business, and who's not. Let him do whatever he's going to do. I don't really know what it is, but I've been locked in for the past 15 weeks. Ever since November, really, for this fight. I'm in the best shape possible. And like I said, I've had one goal in mind, and that's knocking him out. That's all I've visioned. That's all I've worked towards for the past, months and months and months of training. So on the night, you're just going to see him put into action.
It is going to be you alone in that ring stepping in there against Jake Paul, but obviously you can count heavily on your lineage and your bloodlines. I wanted you to be able to explain for the people connected to you, especially Big John Fury and Tyson Fury, how has each one of them helped you prepare for this moment and has helped you, gain victory on that evening?
I think it's just about, looking at it for what it is. Tyson's, in my opinion, the greatest fighter ever. Obviously, the heavyweight champion of the world currently. And he even said to me, this fight is a one-horse race. There's no way this guy can last with you. It is what it is. It's a big event, but it's an easy fight for you. So at the end of the day, that's coming from, Tyson. That's the guy at the minute. So what he doesn't know about boxing isn't worth knowing. My dad is a rough and ready guy. Boxed professional back in the day, fought at the end Henry Akawandis, who went on to win world titles. He's been there, he's done it. Every person who knows their boxing knows what this is and knows what's going to happen on that night. At the end of the day, there's not really much help needed. It's not like I said, I've said this on the build-up quite a lot. It's not like I'm fighting for the unified world title here. I'm fighting a YouTuber in Jake Paul, a guy that I should beat relatively easy. Let's not beat around the bush. I should beat him relatively easy. So at the end of the day, it's not like you need to do this specifically. You need to do that. I'm fighting a guy who I'm going to annihilate in a few short rounds. That's just the top of the bottom of it. But because he's got 20 odd million Instagram followers, it's made it a competitive fight or a big event. But let it be what it is. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to be involved in such a massive event. But for the fight itself, don't be surprised if it only goes a round or two.
How badly do you need that type of outcome, given, some of the things that Jake has said about you, some of maybe the stereotypes that are cast against you as being a Love Island star and all that, to come out and be a gritty, brutal guy like, Tyson and win by knockout. What would that mean to your career?
Like I said before, it wouldn't really mean a lot. After this fight, when I knock out Jake Paul, I'm not going to be jumping on the rope like I've just won world titles and achieved my dream. I've knocked out an idiot, a guy who's grown up to be a YouTuber. He's, he's shown an interest in boxing. He's decided to have a little go of it, no problem. He's fought some old men, some MMA fighters, some basketball players. I think there's a wrestler in there, and I think there's also a fat guy who didn't even train in there. At the end of the day, that's what he's fought. He's coming up against a guy who's lived and breathed this since he's been 6 years old and fought proper men and sparred proper men. While he was messing about on YouTube, I was in the gym sparring heavyweights. Yeah, that's just the realistic of it all here. it is what it is. I'm fighting Jake Paul. You know, it's a massive event, but it's not the biggest fight.
He sort of has made some statements that sort of cast you as a fraud in this sport. I mean, do you believe, despite what he has done in the ring, you know, the Anderson Silva victory included, that he is a fraud?
I think he's just mixing with his own caliber, to be fair. Like, Jake Paul is a YouTube boxer, I think it's rightly we say, isn't he? Like, he's a YouTube boxer. And for that, he's doing well, yes. But when you want to step and, you know, dip your toes into professional boxing, it's a completely different game. And he's going to find that out the hard way on February 26th. You know, at the end of the day, when I knock him out, is he done? Probably not. I mean, if he wants to go and fight other YouTubers, he can do. You know, I'm sure he's going to. You've got a big fight with KSI and whatnot. Whether he loses to me or not, it's not going to matter because I'm a professional boxer and he's a YouTube boxer. So let him be the king of his YouTube world. That's not a problem. I'm going to flatline him in a couple of weeks. That's not an issue. But then after this fight, he will never ever look in the eyes of a professional fighter ever again. But will he mess with all these other YouTubers? Probably, yes, but not a professional athlete. No.
I wanted to ask you about that because, look, I know what you're saying. You are a real boxer, but let's be honest. I mean, there is some money in taking on these guys. And if someone like KSI is calling you out, how can you turn your back on the types of money that would be there, Tommy?
Listen, at the end of the day, you know, I'm a big believer in always, you know, conquering what you've got in front of you. You know, no matter how, you know, big or small the task is, we've still got to get through. So once we get through on February 26th, and my life's been a roller coaster ride for the past, you know, 3.5, 4 years. You know, I couldn't tell you what I'm doing tomorrow. I don't know. So I'm a big believer in getting past, you know, February 26th, and whatever the options lie, they lie. And me and my team will sit down, we'll evaluate the position that we're in, and we'll go from there. You know, I believe in taking it one little step at a time.